Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this person definitely had the wedding from hell in the Dominican Republic. And unfortunately, these folks did not research anything prior to having their wedding in the Dominican Republic and their honeymoon. So, this bride is talking about what happened at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Punta Cana. This is the same place where a few people died and hundreds of people got sick. I mean, don't the Dominican Republic have their form of board of health? I'm surprised nobody is stepping in and shutting down these casinos until they get to the bottom of all of these illnesses. But instead of doing that, they're just continuing to operate and sell these packages to the public. Now, there was a few people, including myself, talking about that mini bar. But see, with the Dominican Republic packages, the mini bar is included in the price. That's why so many people are getting things out of the mini bar. It's included in the package. So, where here in America, a lot of times it's optional if you get the mini bar or not. So when they get these all-inclusive packages, you already paid for the mini bar in advance. And see, that's the thing. And that's why so many people are getting caught up and getting hit with illness once they reach for something out of that mini bar. But in my opinion, whoever runs the Dominican Republic at this point in time, you are foolish for not shutting down these hotels. So it tells me it's all a money game, and you're going to see that is definitely the case as we get into this story. So this came out June 14th, 2019 in the New York Post. Bride recalls disastrous wedding at deadly Dominican Republic resort. And that's the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. So the day of her wedding, the morning they all woke up, the groom was already sick. He was already vomiting. He had diarrhea, and they had to pump him up with Gatorade and Imodium in order for him to even attend his own wedding. Now, that's pretty bad. So, this bride and the groom ultimately ended up getting sick. She got sick eventually, too. And I'm going to tell you how that happened. And this couple was from out of Boston. They ended up cutting their honeymoon short to get the hell out of there. So she is talking about how scary it was. They had fever, they had chills, they were vomiting, they had diarrhea. And she said, they were more concerned about getting fluids into the groom than even the wedding. But eventually, he was able to go to the wedding, get married. And she said there were tourists in that hotel that she didn't even know prior to going that were sick all week long during that time that led up to her wedding. And she did not know a few people died at that hotel. Now, they did complain to the hotel about all of the illness, but the people at the hotel said the sickness was not at epidemic levels. So they're not even concerned about the folks getting sick there. That should tell you right away not to spend your money in none of these hotels there. And the sad part about this, ladies and gentlemen, even the hotels in the Dominican Republic where this is not going to, not going on there, they're going to suffer too. People are going to just outright not trust any hotel there. So one of the bridesmaids got sick, and she had a 10-year-old nephew that was there. He got sick as well. Now, listen to what this doctor did. The doctor charged them hundreds of dollars for the visit. did nothing for them, and just told them to go to the hospital. And on top of that, the doctor was bitching and complaining about how they were going to pay for the doctor visit. Yeah, this doctor was carrying on over how they were going to pay for the doctor visit, charged them hundreds of dollars, did nothing for them other than tell them, go to the hospital. So the bride actually had to bitch and complain to the hotel about being charged money from a doctor that did nothing for her husband. Her husband eventually went to the same doctor. The doctor did nothing for him but tell him to go to the hospital. So she started complaining to the hotel, your doctor didn't do anything. So the hotel refunded her money. The same day that she got her money back, she got sick. I think they got her sick on purpose because she asked for her money back. I don't think that's a coincidence. So, ladies and gentlemen, she also tried to demand the bridesmaid and her nephew's money back from the same doctor, and they refused because they said the bridesmaid and nephew didn't follow the doctor's advice and go to the hospital, so they wouldn't refund their money back. Is it me, or does this seem almost like it's a setup to get you there, get you sick, and get you spending money with doctors and hospitals and everything? It's a way of milking more money out of people by getting them sick. You can tell me what you think in the comment section, but this is definitely shady. So right after she demanded a refund, she started getting sick, she started vomiting, she started getting diarrhea. Don't believe it's a coincidence. Okay. So later on, she had learned that family members, including her 75-year-old father-in-law and some of her friends, also became sick. They didn't want to tell her right away because, she was struggling with the groom him better, so they didn't want to mention it to her, but eventually they told her. So that's really sad. The wedding party, the family and friends ended up getting sick at that same resort. How the hell does everybody get sick like that came with you? But this hotel says, well, the illness is not at epidemic level, so we don't have to do anything. So they literally do not care about these guests at all. This is why you see in such coldness from them, even when guests died. Oh, they died of a heart attack. That's natural causes. It has nothing to do with the hotel. And they know damn well they're lying. Even they have to know at this point in time that things aren't right. And ladies and gentlemen, those employees are not getting sick because they're not eating there. They're either bringing their food or they're eating outside of that hotel. They're not eating that same thing they're serving the guests. Wow. So she talks about, for the rest of the honeymoon, they were stuck in their room because they were sick. So they didn't even get to tour the island and go to the beach and do some of the normal things people would do on a honeymoon like that. They ended up in their hotel room from illness, and they cut their honeymoon a day short and returned back home to Boston. So She had later learned about all of the prior illnesses there. And according to I Was Poisoned, and that's what I was showing you on the other video, people putting down their accounts of what happened when they went to these same hotels. 470 reported incidents of illness is on I Was Poisoned as of June 11th. 470 reported illnesses. Most of them were at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, where these folks were. So they're just breaking down where many of the incidents, but they're all in the same Punta Cana localized area. So 7 tourists have died in the Dominican Republic over the past year. And most of the deaths, they said, are linked to beverages that these folks drunk out of the mini bar. So, of course, when the New York Post reached out to the hotel, they had no comment. So, no shock. And that Maryland couple, the Black couple from Maryland that both died in their hotel room, their bodies were returned back to the US on Thursday. I sure hope the families get a private autopsy done. I know it's expensive and many of them, if they don't have money, they may not be able to afford it. But in their case, because 2 people died the same exact way in a hotel room, I just pray somebody help them and they are able to get private autopsies done, because you're not going to get the truth from the Dominican Republic, y'all. You're just not. But please tell me what you think about this story. This is a damn shame to spend all that money going to a place that you thought you were going to have a good time, your family and friends joining you, and everybody ended up getting sick. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.